Alright guys, this afternoon I wanted to talk to you about the additions and upgrades to my cook system that I take with me when I'm just day hiking, hunting even in some cases. I take with me camping, just in general use. And for me it's in a complete system that I break down and take certain parts of, or the whole thing. And it's not completely complete for me yet. I have some changes I want to make and some additions I want to make to it. Also, I want to say I apologize up front for the noise. I had a chainsaw running in the background. Some of the neighborhood dogs are starting to light up and things like that. So let's get started. So I'm going to go through this quick with the things that I have shown on video. The first one being is my Pathfinder Canteen Cup and Stove cook system with the lid. So you guys have already seen this. It's been around for a while. I've got the stainless steel bottle. 2 quarts gets me through a good part of the day just in drinking water, unless it's really hot, and then I have to bring more, or purify more, or whatever I need to do. If I'm doing a lot of heavy cooking, I definitely have to have more than this though. Got the canteen cup, stainless steel canteen cup with stove on the bottom. Really like this system just for a day hike, just to heat up some water to make some quick coffee, a small meal. There's a lot you can do with a canteen cup. I've got canteen cup cooking videos where at some point I make something in some of the last few videos I've done. If you really want to see a channel that really goes in depth on the canteen cup cooking system, check out Blackie Thomas's channel if you've never done that. His channel is phenomenal, and he can definitely use our support right now. And he's where I got a lot of my ideas for how to set up my cook system now. And you'll hear about that in a minute. But love this system. This is with me every time I go in the woods now. Next is another thing, but I've made some upgrades that you've seen in a video, and I actually did a review of this, and it is the Pathfinder 8-inch stainless steel skillet. And I've made some additions to it. It's been in a couple videos. I did a review of it, and I used it. I've cooked in it on video, and I also took it camping and made some steak and things like steak and potatoes, things like that, on video. Some things I've been keeping in here with it is this MSR folding cutting board, which is still dirty from the last time I made dumplings on it, actually, after a hunting trip. So I got that just to give me a solid place to cut instead of having to cut on metal or something else. It just helps. And I've started throwing this brush in there. It's good, and I learned this from Dave Canterbury, who actually produces this skillet. And I just, after I'm done cooking, a lot of times I'll put water in it, heat it back up, and just scrub it, and everything comes out of it really quick. Makes a really quick way to clean up dishes after I'm cooking. And most of you have probably seen this skillet. If not, you can check my review of this skillet right here. But I'll go over it real fast. It's got a recessed lid, so I can use it almost like a Dutch oven. So this thing will go straight in the fire. I've got my little bamboo spatula cut down here that I keep in here with it. Some tinfoil. Always got to have the tinfoil. I've put this little grill grate in this. I didn't get this one, Dave. I actually just bought this cheap one on Amazon, and it goes right in the skillet. And so I could use this just to grill something directly over a couple of logs on a fire. I can put this in here, and I can bake a little bit of bread. Now it has to be low, but I could bake some bread in this. I could also, if I forgot, like I'm prone to do, if I forgot to bring like cooking oil or something like that, I can use this tinfoil to wrap a piece of meat or fish and put it in here to keep it from burning as quickly. I wouldn't even really, depending on if it's fish, I could probably use the tinfoil. If it's just a cut of meat, I really don't have to, but it works. And it gives me some options as far as that goes. And this bag doesn't come with it. I made this bag myself. I make that for a lot. I do that for a lot of things. And my next system, like I said, I can break this stuff down and take it individually, or I can take it all if I was going for a week out in the woods, or several days, depending on what I want to cook, or if I've got multiple people with me, if my kids are going, you know, I just want, or a friend that doesn't have his own, I can say throw this in your pack and we'll have more to do things with. And that is this Pathfinder M40 cook set. And I'm wanting to actually buy a zipper pouch for this, for it to go together, but it fits down here like this. So, comes like this. It's got a windscreen, and this is for an alcohol stove, okay? So you can flip this up inside like this. It's got these two little legs inside here. You flip them up, alcohol stove goes in the bottom, and then you can set this in. And I'll do a demonstration with this afterwards so you can see what I'm talking about. There's also a lot of videos out on this. And like I said, this, for me, I liked this cook system when I saw it come out. I never had one of the originals. This is the Pathfinder M40. There was a Swedish mess kit that people are still buying, that this is modeled after, and some of them are stainless, some of them are aluminum. This is all stainless steel, not the windscreen, all of it's stainless steel. The parts that come with the cook set. So it comes with this little cook pot here, or not cook pot, but it's like a small frying pan. These D-rings that you can use. You can run a stick in, put over a fire, and it's like a small frying pan. And you can actually use it as another small pot, and it'll go on like a lid on this pot, like a lid, like this. Or, and I've got stuff in here right now. I'll show you. It'll fit right down on it, and I'll show you in a second why that's a good thing. All right, so you got that. Now, what you have here, and I'll get to what I just took out here in a second, is a large pot. And I don't remember how much this pot holds, but in cooking with it, it'll hold more than I can eat in one sitting. So I think it would be fine for 2 people, or if you were going to cook a meal with a lot of liquid in it, you know, something like a stew, something like that. You can do that. It's a pretty good sized pot. Has a handle. You can just hang it right over the fire, or you can set it right down like this in the windscreen. Flip it around, got it backwards. You can flip it just like that, and it works. So the other things I have in here, and this is where I took a lot of the inspiration from Blackie, is I have this Rothko, and his wasn't this, but this is what I was able to get my hands on at the time. I have this Rothko canteen cup in here, and a lid. Now, this is a stainless steel canteen cup, so it's the lid. Don't like this canteen cup that much. The handles are kind of floppy. The lid don't fit quite like I like. I would much rather have the Pathfinder version that have these butterfly handles. And that is one of the upgrades that I will more than likely make. The only reason I haven't so far is I have to also buy the another canteen, which I don't necessarily need, but I'm probably going to do anyway. But I can use this. It gives me options. It gives me a smaller pot. It gives me another drinking cup. It gives me a mixing bowl, which for me is important. So it gives me options. I keep an alcohol stove in here. This is a solo stove. I've just got a bunch of these. So, and then I have this folder cup here. I got this idea to use this as a drink cup of mug, because you put hot liquid in here and it won't burn your hands when you're holding it. A mixing bowl for mixing up biscuit dough, all kinds of things like that. It just gives me lots of options between the canteen cup, it gives me a ton of options to make all kinds of meals. And then the last thing, like I said, I didn't come up with none of this on my own. This was inspired. Is I have this little stainless steel grate. And what that allows me to do, slide that in there, and now I can bake bread. I can put this on it, flip this around like this. I can completely put this on it like that. I'll stick that whole thing, if I want, right in the fire and make an oven out of it. Or I can use it as a reflector oven. And just stick it right in front of the coals, you know, rake some coals up right here, up around it. I can bake bread. That, to me, in total, makes this system very useful. So let me show you how this fry pan can work on here. And then I'll discuss some other things that I've considered adding. Now, like I said, I apologize for the background noise. But, so like I said, the pot goes on here like this. Just like that, with the alcohol stove in the bottom. I'll show you that. Just I can just set that alcohol stove in there like this and light it. That goes on here like that, right? Helps block the wind. Now, if I want, this will boil water, and I've actually tried this. I can put this right here, just like that. I can cook 2 different dishes on this, okay? So I can warm up, I can actually boil water while I'm cooking a stew in here. And it will get very hot. I can fry right there. Like I could do, you know, eggs up here and something else down here for water, for, you know, coffee and all these things. One thing I've considered adding is another one of the little wood stoves off the Canteen Cup set, just so that adding it in with this set, just so that I have 2 of them, because I might want to run, you know, that cup over there doing something, this cup over here doing something. And because if I try to set this Canteen Cup in there without it, it'll just fall over. And people have different ways of doing things. Let me pop this real quick. So I don't need it, you know, if I only need the one system going. But the theory behind it for me is I can take one of these and sit it down in here like this, and now I can take and put my Canteen Cup in there and use it like that, if my other system is occupied for whatever reason. Like I said, it's not my favorite Canteen Cup. It will work though. It's fairly cheap on Amazon, but I really would like to have the Pathfinder one better. But that's just something I want to add. Also, I'm considering adding a grail with a stainless steel nesting cup for the grail with my system, so that I don't have to boil water or anything like that quite as much if I'm going to be out longer. And it gives me another container, so that gives me more options. So I could have an empty Canteen Cup inside the, or empty canteen inside the pack, a full canteen on the pouch for drinking, and a grail for drinking. Or I could run them both empty through the day, as I'm using that grail just to refill, because I'm usually around quite a bit of water. And then toward the night, I could fill up both, or if I knew I was going through a stretch with no water, it just gives me options. And then it gives me enough water for the night to really be able to cook anything I want, boil water, whatever. Because empty, these don't weigh that much. I mean, they really don't. They don't weigh that much. And so it would work. It's just something I've thought about doing. So far, I'm really liking this folded cup as well. That was a really good addition. All right, guys, if you stuck with me to this point, I appreciate it. There's one other thing. I do have a new way to make coffee that I'm testing out, actually a couple ways. One of them allows me to make coffee in my Canteen Cup, just boiling the water and putting it in there. The other one is a whole, it's a system that I can make coffee and cook with at the same time. So it's a little excessive for a system like this. It might be for a lighter weight thing, but I'll put that in a different video. That's it for now, guys. I appreciate you guys watching to this point. Thank you. Like, share, and subscribe for more videos.